Well, hello there. It's me, RJBTV, and today I've got another replay with Brain in the making. We're joined today by the player Time Machine, who's playing the purple Protoss, and we are joined by Brain using the name JSP6093. He's playing the yellow Zerg on the top middle of the map, right next to the top right corner where Time Machine, with a barcode behind the Time Machine, is located. I'm not entirely sure who Time Machine is, but he made some sort of waves on the stream channels of players like LuckYBackLokki빽, Brain, Mong, and Rabbit a couple of weeks ago. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, where everyone wanted to play against Time Machine for some reason. And I got this replay file from LuckYBack's autosave because he was an observer. He was watching this game happen live. And I just thought it might be fun. Just thought it might be fun to watch this one because we've got Brain on Zerg playing against the Protoss. And they're right next to each other. I'm kind of interested in seeing how Brain plays this matchup in particular. Starts off with a pool right after the hatchery, as is tradition. Time Machine, of course, starts off with a +1 Nexus because both players know the matchup because they picked their races. Of course, we'll also be seeing 3 gateways coming out here from Time Machine because that is tradition as well. It's a very, very common build order. Go for +1 Nexus, 3 gateways, and then perhaps some gas. Maybe he's going for the pylon in his front first. Not entirely sure. Oh, he goes for a pylon that is base first. Alright. So no 3rd gateway yet. Maybe he's one of those players who goes for 2 gateways instead of 3. There is a forge, 2nd hatchery coming out for Brain. This is very easy. I can just like scoop over from side to side without having to use my mouse. I kind of like that. I can just be very relaxed. Or maybe I can just do the F keys like this. But that's a little bit more effort than just hitting the arrow key. Right, so a little bit of probe harassment coming down here. Probe is gonna try to run away and stay alive. There's a little bit of annoyance here coming in from Time Machine. Tries to hit it again, but he's forced to run away from those Zerglings because the Zerglings have spawned. So I'm going for 4 Zerglings there. He's not going for 6. Most of the time people go for 6 Zerglings, but Brain doesn't feel the need to. Time Machine already has a cyber core. He's still at 1 gas running. He didn't go for 3 gateways, he went for only 2, and Brain is now on the hunt for information. Comes straight in, avoids both zealots, and wants to try and snipe one of those probes here on the far side. But the cannon finishes up, 1 probe goes down, so that's at least a pretty good hit there from Brain. The Zergling stays alive, Overlord flies in for information. There's hatchery number 3, there is the gas. Wait, this is kind of annoying. I want to see the entire gas, but I can't scroll up any further than this. Never noticed, actually, that the gas just clips off of the map if you build it right there on the top side. Hatchery number 4. That's, of course, if we ignore that one. Second sunk. Oh, it's an Evo chamber. He's walling off the front. I've never actually seen it walled off like this in particular. I think this is pretty smart from Brain. This is actually a super cheap choke. And he cancels the wall, puts it behind. Alright. I guess he doesn't feel like he needs it. He's got the 2 Zerglings there to block off access. I think the Zealots can make their way through, but at least 1 or 2 Zealots will go down if he tries. Very early tune coming out for Time Machine. Takes down the Overlord there, hanging in his base. This will temporarily get Brain supply stuck, because he does have another Overlord on the way, but because that one dies, he's now on 12. This one spawns and he's back on 20. So supply stuck there. He's going for a Robo and a Citadel of a Dune. Time Machine is not entirely playing as is tradition. Most of the time they do everything in a slightly bit different order, but Time Machine has got his own plan here and he's doing it pretty well actually. He's sending a Dragoon back and forth here. Now just make sure that there's no Overlord here up on this side that he can spot, but an Overlord is once again moving onto the hill. Of course, neither player can see onto the hill unless they have a hovering unit on top of it, or land a unit with a shuttle or an overlord or a dropship on top of that hill. So Brain actually is in a pretty good spot to get himself some hill advantage with the overlords and pretty much get vision of the entire side here of Time Machine's base. Brain also went for very early Hydralisk speed. He's got some Hydralisk out already to prepare himself for the incoming drop from Time Machine. But Time Machine's drop is a little bit late, honestly. Well, it's actually almost exactly on time. This will finish at about 5:50. Then you can fly it right over, and most of the time the shuttle will enter the base at about 6:10 or 6:30, depending on the speed of the player. And Time Machine does seem to be on track here. Also has Psystorm already on the way, Hydralisk range, and level 1 attack on the way for Brain. He didn't start a lair yet. He's just droning up. 31 drones in total now, only still on 4 hatcheries. Second and third gas both finishing up. More Sunkens coming down here in the front, and just preparing himself for that incoming shuttle. 40 probes there for Time Machine. Third gateway now finishing up. Reaver has finished up as well. Zealot and Reaver enter the shuttle. Shuttle speed is on the way there. We've got Zealot lags just starting up as well. And there's hatchery number 5. You can also call it number 6, but I call it number 5 because this one does not count. Or you can say the one in the front doesn't count. But they both do contribute to the macro. Alright, so he lands the Reaver, flies it straight out. No point in wasting that shuttle and the Reaver if you cannot safely get in. Might as well save it, preserve it for a later time, and do a double shuttle drop, which is what he appears to be trying to go for. He might try to send them in from 2 different directions at the same time. Cannons coming up here on the middle, Robos there as well, so he's trying to set himself up for a contain and a frontal Reaver push. In comes the shuttle, gets spotted out, another shuttle comes in as well. This one gets spotted out too. Hydralisk have moved into position, snipes it, snipes Reaver shuttle number 2 as well, takes down the Reaver, and the first real attack from Time Machine falls flat. Brain holds it really easily, thanks to the vision provided by these overlords up and there on the hill. Like, this is the vision he gets with those overlords. It's quite useful. And knowing that this is actually one of those things that makes Brain so damn good. He knows that double drop just came out from Time Machine, meaning he has no Reavers, no Templars. He can probably go for the counterattack, and so he does. He moves out immediately, Overlord there to spot the Dark Templars, takes down this mid-build really early, really quickly. And he just keeps on investing in Hydralisk, even getting a bigger base here at the same time, while using his Hydralisk to attack and be the aggressor on Time Machine, who is still relatively small because he was investing in those drops. Both drops have failed, so now the time to attack is here. Goes in, and there's pretty much actually nothing here to defend. Brain actually just has to make no mistakes here, and he wins the game. So flying over the map, gets spotted out by a Zergling, might get spotted out by this Zergling as well, depending on the path he takes, but he has to be quick and has to hit hard if he wants to turn his game around. 2 layers there for overall speed and overall transportation. Brain moving closer, going for the robotics there in the base, might go for the Templar's Archive as well, tries to go in deeper, is starting to take down those Zealots, so you can have access to the cannons there, but it's going to take a while. Might as well just peel away at whatever is there in the front. Shuttle gets spotted out, Brain responds to it, Brain tries to snipe it, but the shuttle tries to fly around, but there's more Hydralisk there in its path, and it takes it down. Templar doesn't even get a chance to storm, and Time Machine now building an expo here on spot number 3. Lurkers already upgrading there from Brain, trying to set up a contain on the Time Machine, and Time Machine tries to storm, but the storm on those Lurker Axe doesn't really kill the Lurkers. You gotta make more damage than a single storm to take them down. He doesn't have an observer, doesn't have a robo, more Hydralisk now streaming in from Brain's base, and Brains is just going to end this without much trouble, it seems. Without much trouble, it seems. Yeah, this is pretty much the game. That is a really quick and well executed counterattack that just makes it look so stupidly easy. He just makes it look stupidly easy here. That's honestly one of the things Brain is absolutely the best at, is recognizing exact time windows where he can just go in, attack, set up an attack, go for it, and punish his opponent for a lapse in judgment. Not sure how he pulls it off. I've tried this myself, and it's just so damn hard to do. And Time Machine isn't a bad player, he just got caught with his pants down. And the difference is knowing exactly when his pants are down, which Brain seems to know. So yeah, there's an interesting game. And I've got a couple more games that I'm gonna do right now. Although the next game is not of Brain, but it's of LuckYBack, also playing against Time Machine. So let's get straight into that second game. Now, this is a game played on the exact same day. And this was a game played by Time Machine against the streamer LuckYBack. LuckYBack is one of the few players up there in the upper echelons of the fastest map players. Amongst the Koreans, they consider him to be one of the Chogosus, and Chogosu basically just means Super Gosu. And he's, yeah, pretty much on that level of Tuka Random, or most known as Hamburger Sasu, Brain, Minchul, Mong, maybe even Lovely Rabbit, although I put Lovely Rabbit a little bit below the rest, and Infinite Shin. Shin Style. LuckYBack is pretty much on their level. And Time Machine is considered to be a level below them, although I honestly don't really know who Time Machine is. But considering how handily and easily he just lost to Brain, you can assume that he's a level below it. Because even Brain doesn't win Zerg versus Protoss all that often against the Chogosu level, or the Super Gosu level of players. Lucky the Zerg, Blue Zerg here on the top. Of course, Time Machine once again on the Protoss, because that is the matchup of the day, Zerg versus Protoss. And the theme of the video then, of course, is the actual real Gosus playing Zerg against Protoss on fastest map. So yeah, pretty much the exact same start as last time around, although one difference, LuckYBack did the gas trick where he makes a gas, makes another drone, cancels the gas, puts the drone back on the minerals. It does delay his second hatchery by about 8 seconds maybe, because that's a time, well, not 8 seconds. 8 seconds. I'd say about 8 seconds, 8 to 9 seconds. So a little bit of delay, but the delay might be worth it because he gets a little bit more minerals out of it. 2 gateways once again from Time Machine. Choke is about to be finishing up. Starts 2 Zerglings, sends 1 drone up to his choke, which will finish well in time because, of course, the +1 Nexus from Time Machine means his Zealots are delayed. Forge there as well, Gas there as well, Probe still getting information, Overlord hanging there in the front just to spot out anything that's coming so he has more time to respond by either putting more probes to the front, queuing up Zerglings, or walling off the front. Basically just whatever he wants to do as a response to spotting units out trying to enter an attack. He scouts 5 different directions at the same time, I think. Although these, 5 different, come on, split up. Alright, he made a mistake there, not splitting up, so only 4 different directions at the same time. He finds Time Machine's base here on spot number 9. Probe still alive and running in circles. There comes hatchery number 2, 3. I thought that was going to be number 4, but he starts out with more Sunkens first, because he saw the 2 gateways there from Time Machine, saw the Zealots as well. Zerg is all retreating back to the choke just to wall off the entrance into his base, which is right here and right there. This little portion is impossible to walk through, so all he has to do is wall off this part. Zerglings can walk through here, Zealots cannot. Pylon started there in the front by Time Machine. This time around, Time Machine is not going to make the same mistake he made against Brain, and he starts off with a mid-contain right off the bat. There's hatchery number 4. No gas has been started yet. Overlord moving to Time Machine's base to gather information. Time Machine has not started a Dragoon like last time. Already starts a Robos there on the middle and a cannon as well. Overlord on the hill spots it all. Tries to go for the Zergling. The probe doesn't get the probe. Probe is being marked away by Time Machine quite well. And the probe stays alive. Cannon will come up and the Zergling is mostly just there to annoy and take attention away from what Time Machine actually wanted to focus on. So yeah, first 2 gases finished up there. 2 gas. Sends 6 drones. 5 drones. Looks like 5 drones. He sent 5 drones to the gas instead of 6. tiny minuscule mistake that I don't think is going to make all that much of a difference. Overload number 2, there to get information. They cannot see the robos. You can just see this robo though, but there's one more robo there finishing up, which LuckYBack knows because he scouted it earlier with his Zerglings. So Overlord is there just to spot out Zealots moving into the middle. Third gas there from Time Machine, 35 probes now, 28 from Lucky Top. Well, LuckYBack, but this time he's just lucky. Whether he's actually lucky or not, that's something we'll find out. So Highlight is then coming out after the 4 additional hatcheries. Additional hatchery number 5 coming out there from Lucky. Quite greedy, but it is something he can afford. But the shuttle, wait, he's going for double reavers first. No shuttle in the mix, no shuttle in the making here for Time Machine. Goes straight for those reavers, which leads me to believe he's going for a frontal reaver push. I'm also expecting the Citadel of Adun to be coming in very soon. He's going for Scarab damage first, no shuttle speed because he's not making shuttles. He's going for Dragoons there as well, with Dragoon range as well. I'm expecting a Citadel of Adun soon for Zealot lags, but maybe he's not going for Zealot speed. Sometimes there's people who go for 3 robos and then they make 2 waves of reavers, or a single wave of reavers actually, and then with speed lots they run in, try to break through, and with the reavers pretty much there to help and assist. And the speed lots are great at attacking the Hydralisks, reavers of course as well. And most of the time that actually winds up breaking the frontal choke. You also have to space out your Sunguns a little bit like this, so your Hydralisks can come in and get us around on the Zealots, but also so these reavers can only attack a single Sungun at the same time. 43 drones now from Lucky. He spotted that there's no shuttle out for Time Machine, so he's actually risking this very hard by having no Hydralisk out on the map yet. He has Hydralisk speed on the way, Spire on the way as well, because he knows he has to adjust and adapt and get Mutalisks. Can go in yet. Dragoons get cut out and dragged into the aggression a little bit too early there. 51 probes now from Time Machine. He's got Scarab damage finishing up. He's got level 1 weapon upgrade on the way, and Dragoon range also finishing up in the near future. And he's having trouble attacking these Sunguns there around the corner. These reavers are stupid and they cannot always attack something that's barely around the corner. They just start tripping out for some reason. It's actually one of the few things that nerfs reavers and keeps them in a somewhat balanced state. Yeah, so LuckYBack completely ignores going for Hydralisk. It was a very risky move, because if Time Machine had gone for a drop, Lucky would have really felt the pain, because he would have had no units to fight it off. But now he's got Mutalisks on the way. At about 7:30, they'll be finishing up. Well, actually 7:20, they'll be finishing up. 9 Mutalisks stacked up. He's got Scorches on the way as well. 2 more Mutalisks to make it 11. For a stack of 11 Mutalisks. Time Machine did make Dragoons to fight off those Mutalisks specifically. But with some great micro, Lucky might actually be capable of taking down those reavers. Although he doesn't micro it, he kind of fails, falls flat. But he's going to try again, goes in. Gets some good shots off. There's actually a pretty decent micro there from those Mutalisks. He's going to lose a couple of his Mutalisks there though. The Dragoons are dealing quite some damage, but he takes down 5 reavers rather quick and halts the push for now. Though I do think that with these Dragoons and Zealots, Time Machine has a chance to go in, but there's already some Hydralisks there in the back ready to counterattack if Time Machine does decide to go for the snack. But there come the Mutalisks once again, taking down the Reaver. So LuckYBack is at the moment somewhat safe. He's got 4 hatcheries there, 3 hatcheries here, so he's got a total of 7 extra hatcheries. He's gonna throw down a whole lot more, and I think he's gonna drone up a little bit more in the future as well. He's got Overlords. He's in need of Overlords. He's only making 2 of them. He's very slowly planning on progressing further and forward. More Reavers spawning, a lot of Dragoons here on the middle. He tries to hunt for those 2 Reavers, but the Overlord gets spotted out by the shuttle. And this is when Time Machine might try to go for the drop, or he's going to land those Reavers here in the front to resume the push. More gateways being thrown down here on the middle, panels as well. Got more upgrades on the way. Shuttle speed soon to be finishing up. He's got an observatory as well. Scorches take down the shuttle, and the Reavers get shut down once again. I honestly think that Time Machine can afford to start attacking with all these units, but he's being a little bit too scary, because do note he has never scouted Lucky's base, so he doesn't actually know what Lucky has, and I think he is assuming Lucky has a lot less hatcheries, but a lot more units to defend himself with. That's why he's keeping himself at bay. Now he just decided to go in because he's very close to nearing supply capacity. And yeah, this is pretty much what happens when you wait just a little bit too long. Which is also why gathering information is so important. So the Dragoons get fought off and pushed back. He didn't go for a hive, he's just massing up those Hydralisks, keeping those Mulisks there to snipe the Reavers when he goes in with the Hydralisks. He's very quickly massing up on Hydras. There come both Reavers once again going down because there's a sunken around the corner that they are trying to hit but can't hit, which makes them trip out. A little bit of bad luck there for Time Machine, but he's progressing as intended. No drops yet, but he is still progressing as intended. Although this time he tries to go in for the drop, but Hylial is there in between. Mule is also there chasing down the shuttle, but he manages to unload the Reaver before the shuttle goes down. The shuttle also stays safe. More forges, Temple Starcraft there as well, so Storm upgrade should be coming in soon. 2 more forges there, so 4 forges by accident, but it happens to even the best. There come the Mulists taking down the Reavers once again. Mulists though will give their life for the greater good. Reaver even stays alive and gets another shot off, takes down a Sunken, now forcing a couple of Hylials to go in. Only a single Hylial goes down there though. That's somewhat funny to see because usually that doesn't happen. Nonetheless, more Sunkens coming down here on the bottom side. More Reavers being dropped here in the front side. And a couple of Hylials being relocated to set up an optimal surround. And I assume he's got all of these hotkeyed, as you can see. He's got 3 groups hotkeyed there. Alright, really nice. Goes in just to take down the Reaver and slow down the push. Shuttle comes in, 2 more Reavers landing. He is continuously and repeatedly slowing down that push. Now Time Machine goes in, he sees a lot of Sunkens there, so he goes for this portion here, trying to stay away from those Sunkens there. But now the surround comes in from Lucky, who is now getting a great surround on those Dragoons and Reavers, going in for the attack. Shuttle there, Shuttle gets taken down, so that's drop averted. And Time Machine forced to pull back to his robotics. Didn't make a lot of cannons here in the front, but he should be fine, because there's Dragoons protecting those Reavers. He loads up the drop. Reaver and Dragoon, they get spotted out by the Overlords. Lucky is not yet responding. Lucky is responding now. He starts to take down the shuttle, but the shuttle might make it all the way. No, the shuttle goes down before it can unload or even reach its destination, which was the drones. 97 probes here from Time Machine. 98. He's over probing by quite a bit because he can kill and lose about 20 of them. And it wouldn't hurt his income or his ability to build and produce all that much. It's another frontal attack here failing. Mulists on the way to scout them. No, they're just pulling back. Yeah, some more Hylials spawning from LuckYBack. Now on 77 drones and only 6 gas, so he's gonna fill up the gas soon. And yeah, once again the Hylials go in, but this time the Reavers though have the upper hand over the ground forces because they take them down so quick. And this left portion of the sunken defense LuckYBack set himself up with is slowly being taken down. LuckYBack now coming with the counterattack once again because Hylials have spawned, Mulists have spawned as well, and Reavers once again going down. Templars are entering the mix, Templars are storming on the units, but somewhat missing the storms. You've got 2 more Templars there that you can storm with, but isn't stormed right. That one hits pretty well. And Time Machine has to start building a lot more buildings because he hasn't really been spending his minerals all that well. And actually both players can afford to kill a couple of their workers. 89 and 99 is a lot of workers, and it's really hurting Time Machine's ability to mass up because he's losing out on at least 10 more Dragoons that can fight, and those 10 Dragoons can honestly make a huge difference. I honestly think that the huge amount of probes there is hurting him way more than it would appear. But now he finally starts filling out the middle of the map with more gateways, or rallying them here to the front. Well, he hasn't rallied them actually, but nonetheless using them to mass produce Dragoons and keep up the pressure on the front here. He hasn't really been occupied with dropping but he's kept the pressure up quite nicely. But LuckYBack doesn't seem to be in a position of danger yet or anytime soon. Lurker's now coming out. I don't see an observer from Time Machine yet. It is finishing up now though, so he was already preparing himself for the anti-lurker units. There's the observer. It has speed, it has vision range upgrade as well. Actually, it has vision range upgrade but no speed because I'm just noticing speed upgrade is on the way. Scorch comes in, ready to take down the observer. Observer goes down over there to spot the observer, of course. Drop coming out here on LuckYBack. It hit about 60 of his workers. He's got about another 38 alive. Tries to kill more and more. Hylas having trouble getting there into the corner. And he kills 5 more. So he killed about 65, I think. No, that's way too many. 55. I think he killed about 55 drones there in total. But Lucky has so many hatcheries, he can reproduce all of his drones rather quick. But that drop there is the one drop Time Machine really needed to land, and he did. He didn't kill all of the workers, but he killed a lot of them, which more or less forces Lucky to use pretty much the next 30 or 40 larvae for drones, which means about 40 less Hydralisks or Mulisks or whatever unit he could have made out on the map to defend, which means Machine can actually start making some progress here unopposed. 57 drones now. Yeah, he's going for the frontal attack here. Lucky is not yet making more Hydralisks. Wait, there's a bunch of Hydralisks spawning right now. Queues up another 12. He's got Burrow upgrade on the way, but Time Machine is slowly progressing deeper and deeper into Lucky's base. Lucky is now in a very, very, very bad spot here because he's losing this entire left portion, which means that Time Machine can ignore the right Sunkens here, the Sunkens on the right, and just walk in on the left side. But in comes the surround from LuckYBack once again, takes down the Reavers, with more Reavers there in the back, the Dragoons there also, but even more Hydralisks are streaming out of the base, and this time he's got Zerglings in the mix as well. Zerglings going directly for the Reavers, Hydralisks going for the Reavers as well, trying to make their way in between those Dragoons, trying to get on top of the Reavers, and the Reavers all go down, with one more Reaver there in the back, Templar there as well. Templar doesn't storm, but Lucky pulls back, because he's got Guardians on the way, and with those Guardians he can snipe those Templars and the Reavers as he goes in for another attack. This game is suddenly becoming more and more intense. In he goes, Hylas on the chase, Reaver went down, tries to at least deal some damage and buy himself some time to get those Sunkens up and running, and they get new drones up on his minerals, waiting for more Hylas to spawn. And once again goes in for the surround. The upside of this left portion here being taken down and Time Machine going into the left portion means that whatever spawns on this side for Lucky immediately gets a surround on Time Machine's units. Lucky has been doing a really good job at making sure his units get a surround on this very small portion of space Time Machine can put his units into. Time Machine's still somewhat small. Drop comes in. Drop is unopposed. Nothing there to stop the Reaver from killing drones. He kills about 5. That's kind of disappointing. He kills about 10 in total. Another shot coming down, but not hitting, not connecting. Lucky already had some new drones spawning. Lucky for him that he already had them queued up. And also, pretty good job at averting more damage. Oh, he gets both Reavers with a single micro shot. Takes down the Templars there as well. Takes down the last Templar, stays alive barely. But this Reaver is gonna pay the price. Lost only 2 Mules there in that Mulus stack. He can turn them into Guardians because he got 1,000 gas. Whether he will or will not, I'm not sure. Because he also needs a lot more new Hydralisks. He still has this little portion of gas to fill out to rebuild and... Oh, drop. That's a drop. 2 Templars. 2 Templars get a storm off. He gets the... Oh, that's a really big storm. Killing about 40 drones there on Lucky's mineral patch. Which now means that this attack coming in here from Time Machine is going to be all the more lethal. All the more problematic for Lucky to deal with. He does have some Guardians there spawning in the back. Storm comes out on Guardians will already finish there on the top side. But now he's cutting off the supply line, but another drop comes in. This drop is going straight for the jackpot. Straight for the jackpot. LuckYBack tries to dodge. He doesn't have the minerals to dodge. He doesn't have the minerals, actually. He has 23 minerals, 26 drones. And his game is looking worse and worse for Lucky. And this goes to show that Time Machine actually is a pretty damn good player, despite the showing he just had against Brain. Which also goes to say a lot about Brain, who can make really good players look really easy to beat. But Time Machine is doing a really good job here at slowly chipping away at Lucky, managing to land those drops. Though I also have to admit, Lucky didn't set himself up for a really good drop defense. He set himself up for a really weak drop defense. There's no lurkers around his main to protect his drones, no spores, no scorches, no Hylas there to intercept the overlord, the shuttles. He does every single time have vision. Actually, he doesn't have vision of the shuttles entering, because this little portion here got no vision of this, and that's usually the direction the shuttle is coming from, although this time he's coming in from a different angle. But there are highlights there in between the shuttle and his destination, so he pulls back the shuttle, keeps it alive. Guardians get stormed, Guardians have to pull back. 42 drones now for Lucky, 9 more of them just spawning for a total of 51. Guardians going in for the attack once again. Sunset's here on the right, pretty much not doing anything. Shuttle drop comes in, he gets the shuttle, so he stays alive for a little bit longer. 51 drones still, his economy is small, and has more drones on the way. He's got the fighter mount and Consume on the way there as well. No Defiler's out yet, 2 more Scorches finishing up. Ready to snipe the Observer, I think. So he wants to keep utilizing those lurkers. So yeah, 200 supply for Time Machine, 120 for Lucky, but Lucky is holding on. But another big wave. Oh, that's a lot of probes. He's finally letting go of some probes because he realizes that he's way too rich. And he probably doesn't know that he's got 97 of them, but he must have felt that his mass was a little bit small. I'm sure he felt that. So yeah, so the probes are taking focus away from the Reapers that are pushing in. Drop comes in, drop is Templar. Templar doesn't dodge it, and he loses another 30 of his drones, pretty much everything he had on the minerals. And I think that one has to be the death sentence. Although, he does get a pretty good surround. He does get a pretty good surround on all those Templars. All those Zerglings for the storms are clearing out everything, but not enough. Well, half of everything, actually. So yeah, once again, another long wave of drones being made by Lucky to be added onto his minerals, so he can start recovering. And this little chokehold here still under control of Time Machine, and Lucky cannot break through. Plus, Lucky cannot afford to keep losing more of his high list. He needs them to defend. Another shuttle drop coming in from the left side. This time, once again, nothing in between the drones and the shuttle. Shuttle makes it all the way. Lucky didn't hotkey. Lucky's trying to dodge, but he loses about 20 of his drones once again. He's being really sloppy this game with handling those shuttle drops. Also, didn't re-establish vision here on the side with his overlords, which is also quite sloppy. So there's nothing here preventing him from getting vision with his overlords. Yeah, the Time Machine goes back in once again. Starts progressing forward, bit by bit. 46 drones now for Lucky. Time Machine finally tearing down those Sunkens here on the left that have been there the entire game. No longer going for the right side here. Wait, actually the other way around. This is the right side, this is the left side. My bad. So those 5 Reavers doing a lot of work. Lucky having pretty much no minerals. Shuttle comes in, shuttle unloads. Templar gets no storm off. So the 68 drones can keep mining, but those 68 drones are not yet mining at maximum capacity, but 21 highlights are spawning for Lucky, but the enemy is already in the middle of his base. Dragoons protecting the Reavers. The Reavers pretty much tearing through everything, and Dragoon's just there to keep those Reavers alive. Templar's there as well. Shuttle comes in for the drop, but he pulls back because his highlight is in between. First let those Reavers clear out what's in between, then go in with the shuttles. Scorch is trying to take down the shuttle, but the shuttle makes it all the way in. Templar's unloading. Templar gets a storm off, gets 2 storms off, and he actually goes back too early, and he loses the remainder of his drones, and LuckYBack calls the GG, and Time Machine shows us that he's actually a really good Protoss player. I really like this game from Time Machine. LuckYBack actually managed to prolong the game up until 24 minutes. And if he had handled those drops a little bit better, we might have been looking at a lucky win. But instead, it's Time Machine who redeems himself from that game against Brain and pulls out a Protoss versus Zerg win with a pretty well executed and solid strategy. And finally, 26 less probes on his minerals to add on another 13 Dragoons to his mass. Which I think wound up being the difference, because those 13 Dragoons can really do a world of work. That made no sense, but they can make a lot of difference. They might just be the difference between losing a mass versus mass fight or winning it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I enjoyed this set. Pretty interesting stuff. And pretty well played. And I personally, my favorite matchup is Zerg against Protoss. Even though it's the hardest matchup, I just enjoy Zerg the most. So thanks for watching this one. Hope you had a good one. And hope you have a good day.